Hey s'mores, I'm Shannon Morse. Welcome to Morse Code. This episode is a thought piece in a way. My viewer Joshua sent over this article about Disney World testing facial recognition as you enter the theme park. And since I'm a little bit of a Disney fangirl, I was intrigued, and I haven't gotten to go to Disneyland in like over a year, so I'm wearing my ears. I hope that's okay with everybody. So according to the Disney World website, they have started testing facial recognition technology at some of the entrances for Magic Kingdom from March 23rd all the way through April 23rd, so 1 month. And anytime somebody mentions facial recognition, my first gut response is,
data retention? Secure storage? Privacy policy? GDPR?
Basically, I have questions. So first, I should probably tell you the details straight from their site. So they have this page on their site. It says about the facial recognition technology test, and I'll quote it. It says, "At Walt Disney World Resort, we are always looking for innovative and convenient ways to improve our guest experience, especially as we navigate the impact of COVID-19. With the future in mind and the shift in focus to more touchless experiences, we are conducting a limited 30-day test using facial recognition technology. Length of test subject to change. The technology we are testing captures an image of a guest's face and converts it into a unique number, which is then associated with the form of admission being used for park entry. This part is important. Participation in this test is optional. For those interested in volunteering to participate in this effort, please make sure you arrive with valid theme park admission and a Disney Park Pass reservation." They also note children under the age of 18 who wish to participate may do so with the consent and in the presence of a parent or guardian. So for guests, you will enter a specific line for facial recognition. You have to remove any accessories on your head or your eyes, but you have to keep your face mask on. Then you face the camera, you position the park admission or your magic band to a scanner to activate the technology. Then the camera will capture your face and convert it into a unique number associated with your valid ticket media. Interesting. If you return to Magic Kingdom more than once during testing, they ask that you enter through the same gate both times so they can, quote, better understand how the technology works, whatever the heck that means. Again, participation is optional and all their normal entry points still exist as well, so you don't have to use the facial recognition if you don't want to. And then at the bottom, they talk about security a little bit. They're like, yeah, we protect everything, don't worry. And then they also say, quote, "Images and the associated unique numbers captured for this technology test will be discarded within 30 days after the test concludes. We will not share the images and unique numbers captured for this test with third parties." So Disney World posted an announcement on their Instagram, so we have an idea of what the process looks like. And I also included some images from a blog, and I will include the source down below. The comments on their Insta post they're really cringeworthy, so skip them, come here, and I'm gonna share some thoughts as a security educator because this is what I do. But first, are you subscribed yet? Because if you aren't, click that subscribe button for more security and privacy tutorials. Don't worry, I'll wait. Hey, Editor Snubs here, and really quick, I wanted to announce the giveaway winner for my 50,000 subscriber giveaway, who won goods from Nomad, goods from myself, as well as a gift card for the Hack 5 shop. So I looked through all of them and I randomly selected the winner. So the winner is George W, and I'm kind of guessing on your name because all I have is an email address. So George W, I have already emailed you. Please reply back with the information that I will need, and I will make sure to get that package out to you. Congratulations, and thank you so much to everybody who entered, and make sure to stay tuned because I will have future giveaways as well. Now, I've only been to Disney World when I was just a little wee snubs. Yes, this is a photo of me as a little wee snubs. So I never used any of their technology, but I have been a frequent Disneyland visitor. Now, Magic Kingdom is located towards the northern side of Disney World, and it's only one of the many parks that are located within this area of Orlando. Now, visitors can have a couple of choices. You can use a ticket to enter the gates at any of these theme parks, or you can buy a magic band, which are only at Disney World. They used to be free, but they aren't anymore. You can scan this band at entries whenever you visit. You can use them to buy merchandise or food or enter enter your hotel room if you're staying on location. Magic bands already use technology. It's RFID technology to be used at touch points. But did you know they also include a long-range antenna that is used to track guests for crowd trends and photos on rides? Yeah, I didn't know that either. Also, I wanted to mention something else about Disney in general as far as technology goes. General photos at the gate is not a new thing. My experience at Disneyland is that they started taking photos of you whenever you enter turnstiles for the first time with your ticket. That photo is entered into a ticketing system to ID you upon subsequent park entries. So that cuts down on abuse, and the photos can be used if a child is lost. So facial recognition is different than just taking pictures. It makes some sense that Disney World would want to introduce this technology. They've probably seen a financial incentive from using photos, so upping the game with facial recognition from that perspective could be profitable. It could be faster too, which means that the lines get into the park faster so they can start buying things instead of standing in a line getting all grumpy. And of course, there's also the health issues. Less contact to surfaces or interaction with employees means less chance of infection. If they did implement facial recognition as a requirement, they could use this within the parks to find lost children, or for crowd control, or to understand flows of traffic better. They could also use it to ID criminals. So from a business standpoint, I understand. It makes sense, but privacy though. I know, I'm getting to it. Facial recognition has a lot of downfalls when it comes to privacy, but there's also other downfalls. For example, the tech is not that great for diversity. There's been several research findings showing that the tech is less effective at IDing women and folks of color. So there's an inherent unintentional bias based on the fact that the recognition algorithm has tons of databases of like white dudes, but not as many as women or Black folks or Asian or Latino folks to learn from. The AI needs better data. False positives are also a thing. Just imagine if facial recognition accidentally flagged you as a criminal and you were escorted away from the gate on your first day of going on vacation. What a way to ruin your entire trip. Facial recognition can also be fooled by paint or by masks that have faces printed on them. This is a total thing. I think it's hilarious to see how people have fooled it, but it is a concern, and it can prove that facial recognition is still in its infancy in terms of abilities. Now, Disney World still has employees standing at the gates, so that's not necessarily going to be a problem for them if they just used it at those entry points. But again, there's privacy issues with facial recognition. Anytime you introduce a new way to collect data, that also opens up the potential for a breach of this data. While Disney World publicly said that they turn photos into numbers, how are those numbers generated? If they tied them to your ticket, then would there be a way for an attacker to determine who that number belongs to based on the ticket information too? How is it stored? They say that both the numbers and the photos are going to be deleted 30 days after this test, but how are they storing this information? Is it encrypted? What kind of encryption? And if they ask visitors to use the same entry gate each time for each visit, how is their technology learning from those visits? What kind of data is being used to learn? Would it be able to match you to your previous visits? Would that unique number change each time you visit? Or would it just stay the same for that ticketed time frame? What company are they using for the technology? There's a lot of third-party companies. Clearview AI is one of them, and they have had some data issues. So I do have valid concerns. Now, I unfortunately do not have the answers to these questions, and I doubt that Disney would share or tell us anything publicly about how the technology was built, but these are the kinds of questions that run through my mind whenever somebody talks about facial recognition. Companies need to be really respectful of privacy of their guests and consider all the aspects of security as well before implementing that technology. Hopefully this video opened up your mind to a very reasonable criticism of facial recognition, since just because you might be okay with like face unlock on your phone, that's locally stored on your phone. That does not necessarily mean that you should be compliant about a private company identifying you with your facial data. It's a very, very different approach, and something that we need to absolutely criticize whenever it comes out into these kind of markets for the public. So am I being paranoid, or are these valid concerns? Comment below and let me know your thoughts. Check out my Patreon, my Buy Me a Coffee, or the join button down below to see how you can support this channel and join folks like Anonymous, Paul J, and Mac Attack, who bought me some coffee. Thank you so much. As well as Joel, Liz, Ike, and Jade, who joined my channel memberships. Thank you so much for joining, and welcome to the S'mores. Thank you again for watching. I'm Shannon Morse, and I will see you soon. Bye, y'all. How many ears do you have? I guess right now I have 4. That was a bad joke.